Hi friends, welcome back to the world of poetry, and the present piece of poetry that we are going to discuss is My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das, who has been a renowned poet, South Indian poet. Hers is the poetry of rebellion, which means she has been often talking about the taboos that we usually scamper from. The present piece is autobiographical in essence, and it talks about her love for her mother who is growing old, and the fear that has been lurking in the deepmost recesses of her heart that her mother, the pride possession of hers on earth, might be someday snatched away by the cruel clutches of death. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday, I saw my mother beside me, doze open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. The poet is moving towards the airport in the car, and her mother happens to be there with her, who has, on the way, overcome by exhaustion, fallen asleep. She has dozed off, and her mouth has been left open, and her face looks dull and dead, ashen like that of a corpse. And the poet realizes with pain that her mother has really grown very old, and her heart hides within, feeling very little, overcome by that imminent doom of a mother. But soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. The poet doesn't want to indulge in that negative chain of thought that tell her that her mother might not be there next time when she visits the place. So, in order to distract herself from that negativity, she prefers to look out of the window, and she beholds the trees sprinting, freshly loaded by fresh leaves, happy and green leaves, and the merry children spilling out of their homes to play in the park. The trees sprinting and the children merry playing in the park are a symbol of life and expectations and dreams and freshness and happiness on the whole. So she would rather mull over the happy aspects of life that give her hope of a mother's longevity of age. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I look at her again. The poet, feeling very vulnerable, still casts one more glance at a mother who is standing at a few yards away while she is through the airport security check. Her mother looks very pale and infirm, um, overcome by the old age and the fragility that she is inflicted with. So the poetess compares her to the moon which is waning in its light. Her mother also is losing her glow day by day, bit by bit. And the poetess has a lot to say to her mother, but she prefers to remain silent. I felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear, that ache of getting separated from a mother, being rootless in the world, this cruel world without having a mother's bosom around to nurse you. She feels this pain to be very familiar because since childhood she has been often uh, she has often been gripped by the fear that she might lose her mother someday. So this pain is something that her heart is quite familiar with. So that pain occurs and reoccurs again and again. But all that she is able to do is to say, "See you soon, Amma." And all that she is able to do is smile, smile, and smile. She is so overcome by emotion, the intensity of pain that bubbles up in her heart, thinking of the imminent doom of a mother as a mortal being when she gets back next time by flight. She prefers not to say a word except "See you soon, Amma," because the word soon gives her hope that she would be back to her mother very soon and her mother would be there to greet her in her arms again. It's a beautiful and poignant piece that gives us, that serves as a sharp reminder to all of us towards our parents that we should not take them for granted. And as long as we are there, as long as they are there, their benevolent presence is there around, we should be responsible towards them and often express a love to them, never take them for granted, and let them realize how precious they are for us. Thank you.